lives, get what they need. And so, just, yeah, like I said, it's a very rare opportunity we have to celebrate my dad. And once again, can we get a round of applause for Chris? Yeah! Today we had an absolutely beautiful ceremony, courtesy of Lynn, and I was also very touched by Valerie's vows today, and I want to say thank you very much. Welcome to the family. We love you. And thank you for joining us. That's all I got for tonight.
All right.
Yeah.
Hi, kids.
Nobody could sniff on a skate spot like comes to keep the old school alive. This is him.
So as many of you know, I've known Valerie for quite a long time now. We were... I don't really want to talk about that right now. Just kidding. No, but seriously, we have been through a lot. We've been roommates, we've been friends, we've been almost like sisters. And I feel like transition in a relationship is a sign of strength and foreverness. And I have been so lucky to see that with Chris and Valerie as well. So I know that she has kindness and compassion in her heart, and I know that Chris has that as well. And I look forward to celebrating with them for many years to come. So cheers to you guys.
Yeah.
Carly.
Is there anyone else that would like to say a few words?
Sister.
Yeah.
Just a couple of things before we get back to the regular ceremony. You got it. First, I want to thank all my friends that I know through my career. The people that let us entertain you with the managers from Frankie's, like Justin and Samantha, or good friends that I've known and worked with on and off over the years, whether it's Danny or Jeff or Patrick and their wives and good stuff. My aunts are here tonight, so my Aunt Allie, my Aunt Mary, so who remembers, we actually did a wine dinner with them about 3 years ago, and might be time to do that again. I have a lot of friends that I skateboard with. A lot of guys may not know this or not, but at this age I still skate competitively, and I've got a lot of friends that Where's Jack?
Yep. Once you start going downhill, it just gets faster.
Obviously, he's lost. No, but seriously, you met Jeff. But I also want to give a special, and then there's Val's friends, of course, who, mean a lot to me. Like Amy, like Liesl, Adriana, again, Johanna, Lorelai, Mark, Che, everyone. But, there's a special group of people here tonight, and that's our group of friends from Canines. Steve Canines walking around here tonight, and he's the proprietor of the tavern where I met Valerie. And interestingly enough, I knew Valerie about a year before I asked her out on our first date. But and some of those people got to watch that age. So people like John Cortez had a front row seat, to my misgivings for a year. And but whether it's Sonny or Rob or Madeline or all the other people there, especially Janet, if she's still poking around tonight, one way or another, you played a role in our relationship in getting us to this point. And we want to say thanks to everyone. Have a great night. I got to tell you, I'm just disappointed about one thing. You guys, I thought you were a wild bunch. I invited the wildest group of people I thought I knew. Ronnie's going to do another set. First of all, you guys didn't eat enough, so the seconds are still up there. Yeah, but now, this second set, this is the dancing set. This isn't the sitting set. This is the dancing set. So the next set, sitting, it's bad news. Have a great time the rest of the night. Thanks for coming. Oh, hold on, 1 second. I apologize. You know, there's one very special person that I almost forgot about. Forgive me, it's been a long day. Craig and I actually grew up in the same neighborhood. Were born in the same neighborhood together, the Pullman-Roseland area. And I met Craig through his father, Earl. And Craig, you know, there's certain people you meet in your life and they're there for you when you're at your absolute crossroads. And I've had that 3 or 4 times in the past 15, 20 years of my life, and every time Craig's been there. So, my good friend, Craig Liggett. Yeah.
Well, I didn't prepare anything, but I have some thoughts I'd like to say. Be concise and direct. Chris's father was an incredible person. For those of you who knew him, just an amazing person. Very, very special person. I was born 2 months before my grandfather passed away. He was a kind of a famous guy on the South Side. Not as famous as Nino was, but a well-known guy. And he was this little short Jewish guy in a Catholic neighborhood who had a hardware store. And it was a neat environment. West Pullman, famous for the train car, the sleeper train car. At any rate, I'm sitting at a charity event with Chris. And Chris, we start realizing that our background goes back to the South Side. I was only there for a brief time, but his father knew my grandfather, and he started describing things I'd never heard about my grandfather. It was very, very special, very touching. But the story about us really is beyond that. We have done some pretty incredible things that Val probably doesn't know about, and I want to share with everybody here. No, this is really special stuff, because all the success you can have in life really doesn't mean anything when you leave this place. It's who you touch and who you can help. And that's, the Jewish word is tzedakah, charity. And if you can give to others that are needy and do it in the right way, I mean, if there's a wrong way, I don't know, but we certainly did it the right way. And we did it time and time again. So it was through this introduction of my father, this big heavy-set guy, 450-pounder, who would go and see Chris, sit at the restaurant, eat all day long, and joke around with Chris and talk about records and music and stuff like that. And he says to Chris one day, he goes, "You should meet my son. You're a great guy. Craig's a great guy. You guys got to get together." And I so happened to have this charity event coming up, and Chris had some incredible ideas of what we could do with this charity event. Well, my niece was born with a rare bone disease that she would fracture, and it was a terrible thing. And Chris said, "I've got some great thoughts." And hear me out, Craig. I said, "I'm all ears." And we crafted this event that was catered to the Chicago Mercantile Exchange and the Board of Trade people. Now, the Merc hated the Board of Trade, and the Board of Trade hated the Merc. Okay, so it was very straightforward. We knew we had a situation that they're not going to really like each other in this audience. But we nevertheless talked this thing out and figured out how we're going to do it. It was through charity that we brought all these people together. So I'm going to bring it forward, because we did a few events, and then we did this really big event. I mean, big event. And Chris, his expertise in food and restaurants really came into play, because at the Auditorium Theater, we had almost 5,000 people. It was benefiting children with brittle bones, my niece's cause, and it was also for Special Olympics Illinois. And that night we raised, well, let me tell you about the event. We'll tell you how much money we raised. We had B.B. King, a blues artist. We had 4 other blues artists with him, the Muddy Waters Blues Band, the guys that were still alive, Chris, right, that were still around.
Hubert Sumlin. Hubert Sumlin.
Yeah, he was there. And when Elvin Bishop was there, and Shamika Copeland, who's the current Queen of the Blues. We had my nanny, who was Coco Taylor. She was there. And we had some incredible music that night. But the Auditorium Theater wasn't so keen on having food in the place, because it's a historical landmark. So Chris, of course, said, "Look, let us entertain you, and I have some expertise in this area, and I'm telling you, your place is not going to be destroyed. These are decent people. The Merc and the Board of Trade, they may not be crazy about each other, but they're not going to tear the place apart. These are civilized people." And we sold... They tore the place apart. We raised a shitload of money, though, that's for sure. We raised over $630,000 that night, and it was on a blues concert. Insane. I mean, really insane. We had 30 restaurants because of Chris at this event. It was like a mini taste of Chicago, but not mini because it was really good food. Wow. Gibson's was there and Shaw's was there. Shaw's brought out shrimp. Steve LaHaye didn't miss a beat. That big crafted boat with the ice, and it was fresh, and I mean, all these different restaurants. It wasn't just Lettuce Sartini restaurants. Everybody was involved in this event. Really, really cool. And because of Chris and because of his expertise, we were able to pull it off, and we raised a ton of money. So I don't think Val knew this, but because of Chris and because of our efforts, the Brittle Bone Foundation was awarded a $12.5 million grant because of not at this event, a different event. We were awarded $12.5 million by the federal government because a guy was driving down the street who worked for Congressman Porter, and he asked us, because of the event at the water tower, your connection, Bobby and the guys, Anatello, right. What was it, the last name? Canatello, right.
An Irish kid.
Oh, really Irish from Bridgeport. Yeah, really a character. This guy was something else. But he had a heart of gold, and he only wanted to help children. And again, I'm going to bring it together. I'm going to bring it together right here. I know, Sherry. I get it. I know.
Keep going on about me. I love it.
It's because I'm just telling you guys, charity, okay? This guy here, if you want to do a charity event, go to him right now and make book next year. You should make a lot of money, okay? Chris, thank you. I love you. Here's to my dear friend, my good friend, to his wonderful father, to my wonderful father putting us together, to his beautiful wife, Val, and to their beautiful marriage. Many healthy, wonderful years together. The most beautiful people in the world. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. I am Chris's oldest sister, Bernadette.
Yeah.
We are so lucky to have Val join. Thank you. We are so lucky to have Val become a part of our family. She's just the most kindest, loving person I know, and is a perfect match for my dear brother Chris. So to Val and my dear brother Chris, again, I wish many years of love and happiness, prosperity and health. I see they already have a good dose of friendship going on in this room, and we're so lucky that all of you are here today to share their special day. So, again, to Chris and Val, salute, mazel tov, stola.
Anybody else? Where's Elvis?
Right here. And to Ronnie Vegas.
Thank you.